Did you know? The first Dragon Ball game in the United States was released in 1988, almost a decade before the TV show began airing in the country. Because most Americans hadn't heard of the series yet, the game was renamed and much of the game's content was changed. Dragon Ball Shenron no Nazo was released in the US as Dragon Power. Along with names and character designs, some notable changes included the Kamehameha being renamed the Wind Wave, the Dragon Balls being renamed Crystal Balls, and Bulma's panties being changed to sandwiches. Shenron no Nazo is notoriously difficult, and many players never saw the full game. One area that most gamers failed to see featured an exclusive character designed by the series creator Akira Toriyama. This character is called Krillin and is supposed to be an alien doppelganger of Goku's friend, Krillin. The second Dragon Ball game released in the United States was Dragon Ball GT: A Final Bout. This game was put on store shelves in 1997, only 1 year after the US debut of Dragon Ball Z, and 6 years before the American broadcast of Dragon Ball GT. Needless to say, the continuity between the show and the game became the source of significant confusion with the new American fans. Additionally, this release used a completely different voice cast from the anime. In Final Bout, Goku was voiced by Steve Blum, the actor who played Spike in Cowboy Bebop, and Amon in The Legend of Korra.
You look strong. This should be a good fight.
Another Dragon Ball game with strange regional differences is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi for PS2. The original Japanese version is named Dragon Ball Z Sparking, Sparking being a reference to the lyrics from the Japanese opening of the TV show. In the US and European regions, the game is named after the phrase Tenkaichi Budokai, which is the original Japanese term for the series' annual World Martial Arts Tournament, and roughly translates to Strongest Under the Heavens Martial Arts Tournament. It's thought that the wording of the phrase is reversed in the title to more closely associate the game with the popular Dragon Ball Z Budokai series, which was developed by a different company. Several games in the Dragon Ball Z series have some fascinating instances of cut content. In the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, there's a bonus level in the adventure mode that was removed from the international versions of the game. In this level, Yamcha and Tien Shinhan used the fusion dance to boost their power to face off against Frieza's son, Kuriza. Kuriza first appeared in Akira Toriyama's crossover manga, Neko Majin, and was featured in the Japanese release of Budokai 2 as an alternative costume for Frieza. Data hidden within Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 suggests that Bulma was originally intended to be a playable fighter. Some unused files contain audio of the tournament announcer reciting Bulma's name in the same way the names of playable characters are announced before a tournament match. Additionally, the collector's edition of Budokai 3 was released with a behind-the-scenes DVD that includes footage of Bulma's US voice actors recording various fighting sounds for the game. Despite the absence of playable Bulma, it is actually possible to use Bulma's character model from the training mode as an alternative costume for Videl. However, this can only be done in the Japanese version of Budokai 3 with the use of action replay codes. In Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, an Easter egg can be found in the Versus menu screen. If the player remains still for 20 seconds, Nappa will ponder the nature of Saiyan hair.
Hey, think if I went Super Saiyan, my goatee would grow?
Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2 contains a few subtle references to classic Super Nintendo games. While visiting the electronics store in West City, 6 video game boxes can be seen resting on a display table. These include Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Final Fantasy II, Super Metroid, and Secret of Mana. It's possible the developers paid homage to these games because they inspired game mechanics used in the Legacy of Goku series. The third Legacy of Goku game, Boo's Fury, featured a reference to Star Wars in the stadium of the Otherworld tournament. Admiral Akbar, known for the line, "It's a trap," can be found among the crowd. Other popular games have direct references to Dragon Ball Z. Mortal Kombat Armageddon has a complete set of clothing and hair options called Anime 2 in the Create a Fighter mode that strongly resembles Goku's classic design. Dragon Quest IX features character designs drawn by Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama. As a result, many iconic clothing and hairstyles from Dragon Ball Z can be found in the game's Create a Character menu. In Naruto Shippuden 3 Ultimate Ninja Storm, Goku's orange doji can be used as an alternative costume for Naruto. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 returned the favor by featuring Naruto's Sage outfit as an alternative costume for Goku. In the Dragon Ball Z Budokai HD Collection re-release, many fans were surprised to find that the soundtrack for both games had been completely replaced with a score from the US versions of the Budokai Tenkaichi series. This is possibly due to the news that the Budokai series music composer, Kenji Yamamoto, became the subject of a plagiarism controversy in 2011. According to the dedicated Dragon Ball fan site Kaizenshuu.com, many of the songs composed by Yamamoto were found to include unofficial homages and sometimes unquestionable knockoffs of copyrighted material. The Budokai track Move Forward Fearlessly was taken directly from the song Glory of the World by Finnish metal band Stratovarius. the track Senritsu no Toki uses a breakdown that sounds extremely similar to the iconic verse in Black Sabbath's Iron Man. And parts of the Budokai 3 track Uzaru wa Takashimite bears a striking resemblance to Be Good to Yourself by Journey. Along with the music, some of the game's more violent imagery was altered in the HD re-release. In Budokai 3, there was an ultimate attack for the legendary Super Saiyan, Broly, where he grabs the face of his enemy and slams their head into the ground. In the HD version, the screen fades to white right before Broly slams their head into the ground. In the story mode to Budokai 1, there's a cutscene where Raditz is shot and has a hole through his stomach. The original game had a red, wet-looking texture to represent his insides. In the re-release, this was changed to pure black. That's all for today, but don't forget to subscribe to Did You Know Gaming on YouTube, and follow Did You Know Gaming on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you also check out didyouknowgaming.com, and if you like this video, check out our other videos. Hi, I'm Takahata101 from TeamFourStar. Don't forget to check out TeamFourStar's long-running Dragon Ball Z Abridged series, as well as future prospects we have on the horizon. Follow us on Twitter at TeamFourStar and like us on Facebook as TeamFourStar as well.